Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Manojavam Marutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtham Vadatmajam Vanarayutha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Shirasa Namami Pujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam Apadam Apahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutir Yasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. All right, so welcome back. Nice to see all of you. I am grateful that your interest in Ramayana is alive despite me, and that we can appreciate the wonderful, wonderful nature and activities and holy name of the Supreme Lord Sri Ramachandra, along with his wonderful associates, Sri Lakshmana, Hanuman, Sugriva, of course, the heroine of the entire kavya or poetry is Srimati Sita Devi. Kishkinda Kanda and Sundara Kanda are very, very important kandas. I mean, in fact, every kanda, every shloka is important. It is important from a rasa perspective. Very much like the Bhagavatam, although I'm not a person who makes comparisons, so I'm not comparing, but it's appreciation. In the entire Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire build-up and anticipation is for the 10th canto and Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, specifically with Srimati Radharani. But she's not there in the Bhagavatam, not there in the sense she's not specifically called out. Here Sita Devi is. In this entire Kanda, Kishkindha Kanda, we don't see Sita Devi at all, right? We all know she's in Ravana's Ashokavana in a very, very sad state of separation. We don't see Sita Devi in Kishkindha Kanda, but the entire Kishkindha Kanda is about and for Sita Devi. She's there in every chapter, everywhere. It is Sri Ramachandra's absorption in Sita Devi. So she's there in Kishkindha Kanda, just not, I guess, visible to us, but she's there front and center. In Sundara Kanda, the entire Kanda, we don't see Ramachandra, except right in the end when Hanumanji returns. But the entire Kanda is about Sri Ramachandra. When he is flying, he is remembering Sri Ramachandra. He meets Sita Devi. She asks him to describe Sri Ramachandra. Then he burns Lanka. He's thinking about Sri Ramachandra. Then he comes back. Is Ramachandra right front and center? That's the beauty of Valmiki Rishi's ability to keep the Lord front and center for us, even if he's not necessarily the personality on stage in this wonderful grand drama, if you will, of pastime. Sugriva is ready to dispatch the monkey armies in 4 directions. And they are all eager to engage in this wonderful service of finding Sita Devi. So they're ready and they're turned around and they're getting ready to jump and go away. And they get the final order from Sugriva, go ahead. And so these monkeys, understanding Sugriva's order, they started, Valmiki Rishi says, they are covering the entire earth. Pretty much, he says earth, Medinim, we understand it as the entire Bhumandala, like a swarm of locusts. If you ever seen a video on National Geographic or Animal Planet or nowadays YouTube, if not, I would recommend you go and see what an attack of locusts look like. These are grasshopper-like beings that can completely destroy all trees, plants, crops. They eat away. But they travel in swarms of, I guess, hundreds of millions or billions. So these monkeys are covering the earth like locusts cover a farm or the land. So here's the verse in chapter 45. Tata ugra sashana bhartur Vigyaya Haripungava. The Haripungava is Sugriva. And Sashanam, his order, Bhartu. Bhartu, we generally translate as husband. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasam Dasa. Bhartur. Actually, it in Sanskrit, it translates as maintainer. So Bhartur here in this case, Sugriva was the maintainer or the lord of all the monkeys. His Ugra Shasanam, his very, very intense order, Vigyaya, having understood, Shalabha iva Sandhaya, Medinim Sampratisthare. Sanchadya, sorry, not Sandhyaya. Shalabha iva Sanchadya. Chadya means to cover or to disguise. In this case, cover. Shalabha iva, like locusts. That means every inch of Bhumandala was going to be searched and they were ready to go. Now they're going, but these are valiant, valiant monkeys. They don't go silently. They are making a ruckus, a huge, intense, loud war cries. And so here's a very beautiful alliterative verse by Valmiki Rishi. Nadantaha cha unnadantaha cha garjantaha cha plavangamaha shvelanto dhavamanascha vinadato Mahabalaha. So Mahabalaha, the very, very mighty Vanaras. Shvelantaha Dhavamanaha. Dhavamana while they are running. So they are eager to perform this service. So these mighty monkeys eagerly are running towards the directions that they have been asked to search in. And while they are running, here are some things that they are doing. Nadantaha. Nadanta means bowling, very loudly yelling, shouting, yeah! You know, you've seen, if you've ever been in a game of cricket or football or some sport where the crowd is just out of control, like that. Nadantaha. And unnadantaha, highly blaring. In Sanskrit, wherever you see the prefix un or ut, it means rising above. So unnadantaha means very loudly blaring. Garjantaha, thundering. Kshvelantaha, roaring like lions, and Vinadantaha, very oddly uh, shouting and making loud noises that don't make sense necessarily. People say, woohoo, ah, yeah, whatever cries people yell out. These monkeys are going boasting. So with these loud cries, these monkeys are boasting about their strength because they're not some tiny, skinny monkeys. They're very, very powerful. So as they ran, these monkeys started telling each other or sort of thumping their chest. I'm using the phrase thumping their chest. I will kill Ravana single-handedly in battle and crush all the other demons and bring back Sita Devi. I can do it alone. Another one said, I will bring Sita Devi even if she is hidden somewhere in the lower planetary systems. All of you stand back. I can do this alone. Another one said, I will completely shatter all the trees, shred the mountains, split the earth, and storm the oceans if required. And then gave a big, loud war cry. The next one said, I can jump 100 yojanas, no doubt. And another monkey said, oh, I can jump even more than 100 yojanas, for sure. And another one said, when I jump or run, nobody can stop it. Neither the earth can slow me down, because when we run on earth or whenever on land, there is friction by the earth and by the air. So there's nothing can slow me down, whether on earth, in water, on mountains and forests, or even in the lower planetary systems, even in the core of the earth, nothing can slow me down. So with this slogan, one monkey was one-upping the other one. And they all boasted in Sugriva's presence. Oh, I can do this, I can do that. So Sugriva dispatched all of them in the different directions. Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana patiently went back to Mount Prasavana, waiting for a month in anticipation. Actually, interestingly, it is just around this time, because when all the monkeys actually went out in search. Because as soon as Ramachandra reaches Mount Prasavana, 1 month has to pass. So 1 month before Kartik month, actually. Sharad Purnima is when Kartik starts. So 1 month before. So right now, in one sense, the monkeys are all searching. But they all come back a month later and say, we didn't find Sita Devi. So Ramachandra is waiting during Kartik month, all alone on Mount Prasavana. And on that, I did last year's Kartik meditations. So you're welcome to go revisit them if you like. Now, when all the monkeys were dispatched, Ramachandra was curious. And he asked Sugriva, Sugriva, how do you know such intricate details of the entire Earth globe or Bhumandala? To such details, you could tell exactly which mountain was where, which river, which cave, which ocean, pond, tree, all of this. How do you know so much details? So Sugriva, with folded hands, bows down at Ramachandra's feet and says, actually, you know, when Vali was challenged by Dundubi for a fight, he pursued Dundubi and entered a cave. And in that cave, they fought. I ran after Vali and I was asked to stand at the mouth of the cave in guard. And I waited for a year. And when I did not hear anything come. All I could hear was this huge fight for a year, thumping, slapping, punching, and moaning and groaning from that. And then I saw streaks of blood. I thought my brother Vali was dead. And so I covered the mouth of the cave, came back. I was asked to take over the kingdom, so I took over the kingdom. Then Tara and Ruma became my wives, or Tara, along with Ruma, became my wife. And then Vali showed up. And Vali became so angered that I became the king. I stepped off the throne. I offered him the throne and the kingdom back, but he would not listen to me. He wanted to kill me, and he started pursuing me, and I ran for my life. And because I was running for my life, I jumped to the northern quarter. He pursued me all the way far beyond the Himalayas. I could not find any place to rescue myself, so I went in the eastern quarter. While he pursued me there, then I retreated to the southern quarters. Since no respite from Vali, I went to the western quarters all over Bhum Mandala. And while I was running here and there, because I saw all of these places, I remember them very, very distinctly. Ultimately, it is this great Hanuman, who's very wise, said to me, I don't think you need to run here and there. Why don't you just stay in Kishkindha on Mount Rishyamukha, where Vali cannot come because of the curse of sage Matanga. And thanks to that advice, today I am alive. And Vali cannot enter this place out of fear that his head will burst into 100 pieces. Because that was the curse of sage Matanga when Vali had flipped the dead body of Dundubi. So now, before I continue, there is a little possible discrepancy, or at least an apparent discrepancy in the narration. So Sugriva tells Sri Ramachandra that Vali was pursuing Dundubi. However, back when Kishkinda Kanda started, the story is that Sugriva had pursued Mayavi, not Dundubi. So why is Sugriva saying Dundubi? So Sri Govinda Raja, one of the most famous commentators, apparently responds here that there is a demon called Maya, which we'll hear about again later as the southern monkeys, the monkeys going in the southern direction will meet. Not Maya, but someone related there. So Maya has two sons, Dundubi and Mayavi. So in one sense, both the sons of Maya are called Mayavi. Just as all the 5 sons of Pandu are called Pandavas. Or both Lakshmana and Ramachandra are referred to as Raghava once in a while. But mostly Raghava is Ramachandra, but refers to Lakshmana also. So that Mayavi, Govindaraja says, actually both of them came to challenge Vali together. And when Vali pursued them, both of them had run. However, Dundubi got scared of his life and escaped from the cave. The Mayavi demon stayed and fought with Vali and was killed. Then Dundubi came back and challenged Vali. And that's how Vali killed Dundubi. So after Sugriva describes all of this, we may have this doubt, or commentators raise a doubt. Why is this in the Ramayana, when the monkeys have to go search for Sita Devi, does Valmiki Rishi, for almost 2, 3, 4 chapters, have such details of the geography of the Bhumandala? What is the reason? Is that a distraction? Or is it an interpolation later by some commentators or poets who added these chapters in the Ramayana? Is it even necessary? Do they have any consequence or relevance to the storyline or what we are trying to learn here? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And this is how they decipher it, that ideally, before embarking on any important journey, or actually before embarking on any important project, a human being, especially if they want to be considered dharmic, they have to visit holy places, or they have to hear about holy places and holy people. So, for example, I mean, the Ramayana is full of it. When the great sage, not sage, King Sagara was going to become king, he and his two wives went to Mount Mandara and performed tapasya there and were given boons by the sages there. Sri Ramachandra, our own hero, before he takes on the throne of Ayodhya to be the emperor of the entire world, spent 14 years in the forest, visiting holy places, visiting the sadhus, being in their association, although ideally giving his association. But we're not considering him as the supreme lord at this point, but as a human being who's going to be king, went and spent time hearing from and serving the great sages in Dandakaranya. Anywhere we see, before taking on something big, all persons will visit holy places as a matter of purification. So here, before this big event of searching for Sita, it is customary to physically, and if not physically, then at least mentally, visit holy places and holy persons and seek their blessings. So when Sugriva is narrating to each of the Vanara groups about what they will find, he talks about auspicious mountains, auspicious oceans, rivers, lakes, trees, sadhus, etc. For example, when he's telling Hanuman, Jambavan, Angada, Neela, Tara that they're going in the southern direction, he says there is Agastya's ashram there. To some others, he told them the Himalayas are there, the great place where Lord Shiva's yajna was performed. Somewhere else, he will talk about the mountains where the sun is rising, etc., etc. So this visiting or in the mind thinking about the holy places is considered a proper way of beginning any big mission or task. In fact, in the Mahabharata, sage Dhaumya, when the Pandavas were completely shattered after the Kurukshetra war and Yudhishthir Maharaj had to become king, he tells them that you please visit and listen to the descriptions of the holy places, mountains, the sages, and the great Brahmanas. By listening to these pastimes, you'll become free of grief. So here again, and I think I highlighted it when we were talking about Ramachandra and Sugriva on their mission to kill Bali. When the first time they go, there is no narration. They just say, Valmiki just says, Sugriva went to where Vali was, challenged him, got beat up, and came back. And the next time they go, there is a full description of the pious trees, the holy places that they went through, the ashram of the sages, and they reached the place where Vali was, and Sugriva challenged Vali. So there's a description of the holy places or pious trees and locations as a way of visiting them. So Sugriva becomes purified and successful in his mission. Now, we're all devotees, so we may have this question or thought: why does Sugriva and the monkeys need to visit any holy places when the source of all holy places is standing right there, Ramachandra and Sri Lakshmana? And the answer is because they're not exhibiting their godhood. Ramachandra and Lakshmana are there as sons of Dasharath Maharaj, as human beings. And they are teaching us that before we embark on anything, mentally visiting the lotus feet of the spiritual masters, the holy places, mentally or physically, actually, taking the dust of the holy place, taking a mental or actual bath in the holy rivers Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Sindhu, Narmada, etc. The Sindhu river is hard to find, but the holy rivers. Read about great sages, the great devotees of the Lord, especially on their appearance days or disappearance days, but before remembering anything or doing anything. They are the personalities who offer mangala or auspiciousness for any activity. So now 1 month has almost passed, and within that month, monkeys from the northern quarter came back to Kishkindha and reported to Sugriva and Sri Ramachandra. They could not find Sita Devi. The monkeys from the eastern quarter came back after a thorough search and came back and said, sorry, could not find Sita Devi. Monkeys on the western quarter, along with the ones in the northern, eastern, they had searched the mountains, the plains, the plateaus, forests, gardens, groves, seas, lakes, ponds, caves, caverns. Every possible inch or square inch of land, sky, water was searched. And the western ones also came back and said, we could not find Sita Devi. So for 1 month, they had searched all day from sunrise to sunset, and only would come back to certain groves where there were some fruits, or eat the fruits, lie down on the branches of the trees for rest at night, and searched again for a whole month. And before Sugriva would feel despondent, each of the monkey army teams or teams that went in the different directions instilled confidence in Sugriva that, oh, we haven't heard back from that group that has gone to the south, Sri Hanuman, Jambavan. We feel they will somehow find Sita, because we know that Sita Devi was taken by Ravana in the southern direction. Of course, then one may ask, why search everywhere? Because a Rakshasa, we don't know. We don't know where Ravana would have hidden Sita Devi, although he took her in the southern direction. A Rakshasa is very crooked. So after they searched all the 3 quarters, they couldn't find the path in which Sita Devi was taken. So finally, they have come to Sugriva, and now Sugriva is waiting. The month is getting over, and the southern quarter monkeys have to return with some news, and they haven't returned. That was the king's order. So what is happening in the southern quarter is what we will hear next time, where the monkeys are considering, hey, it's a month's time. Sugriva had ordered us. We should go back. And yet said, if we don't come back in a month, I will kill you. So now they are thinking, if we don't go back, we will be killed by Sugriva. If we go back with news that we didn't find Sita, that will shatter and, I guess, kill Sugriva. It will hurt Sugriva, and Sugriva, if he is in sadness, Ramachandra and Lakshmana will be in sadness. And they will want to end their life. We will be the cause of so many people's death. Rather, let's not go. Because sometimes no news may mean that we're still searching and have not come back. So let's not go back. Or should we go? Is the argument and discussion that starts among the monkeys in the southern quarter. And we'll do that when we meet next time. So I'll pause here and see if you have any questions or thoughts, comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is Radha Balbadas. Please accept my humble obeisance. Can you hear me, Prabhu? Or
yes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu, again for a wonderful class. Again, with your wonderful relations. Yeah, the last part you mentioned about the monkeys, obviously it's the pastime here. Now, you did mention an instruction last time that one should not consider oneself a cause or outcome, right? Yeah, of a certain devotional service. And that's something we have been all constantly being advised as part of devotional service. Now, this may be a pastime here. That's what the monkeys, they're saying, hey, what Sugriva will think or what Lord Ram will think. What's the outcome here? They're doing devotional service. They're following that whole process right here.
Is there a question, Prabhu?
I just want to connect here. So the answer is this is a pastime or this is, I'm trying to understand, or
see,
not taking out focused on outcome.
Sure. Not thinking I'm the cause is definitely a consideration a sadhaka has. But a sadhaka also has sensitivity. I mean, the idea that, let's say, they bring some bad news, and if it's going to give pain to the heart of the Lord, one doesn't say, hey, I'm not the cause. If it's pain, you deal with your problem. That's insensitivity or lack of empathy. As a sadhaka, here the monkeys are considering, they're not thinking they're the doers, they're thinking, I don't want to be the messenger of bad news. And so there is debate in the monkeys. One says we should go back, it's the king's order, we have to follow. The other says, no, we should not go back, it's going to cause a lot of pain, we're anyway late, let's search more. So different voices will come up, which we will hear, but they're not thinking they're the cause of anything. Is just their sense of being sensitive to their king and to Sri Ramachandra and Lakshmana.
Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice. And this is something, the sensitivity part is a bit, perplexing even at sadhaka, right? We have smaller services and smaller things to do at the same time, to see that a certain cause or outcome, as you mentioned, how we sensitively respond is something we need to make a choice on, based on time, place, circumstance, right here. Thank you, Prabhu.
So I have someone texted to me directly. After Vali's death, Sugriva accepted Vali's wives as his wives. But brothers' wives are like mother. Please, what's the reason behind this? Please share. In the Vanara lineages, the Vanara rules and regulations. Actually, even in Manusmriti, there are some, I'm not an expert in Manusmriti, but there are places where a woman can remarry, especially if the husband passes away. not when the husband is alive, or if the husband becomes a debauchee or is abusive. Manusmriti gives a woman a chance to, I guess, abandon her husband or leave that relationship. In this case, Vali took on Ruma when Sugriva was alive, and that is why Ramachandra punished him. But he did not punish Sugriva because he did not violate dharma, because Vali had died. So Vali's wife can become Sugriva's wife in the Vanara, I guess, laws or rules. It doesn't violate that rule. And we discussed this a little bit more back in those classes where we actually, Ramachandra is debating with Vali why he killed him or why he shot an arrow, and Vali's listening. So there's more detail there. I would encourage you to please hear that section. Anything else? Okay, so before we say bye, or I guess Hari Bols, October 4th is Vijayadashami or Rama Vijayotsava or Dashera. And I've been asked to give a talk to a group of devotees in Canada. It's 6 a.m. Eastern time. So it'll be 5 Central, and in India, 3:30 in the afternoon. If you would like to attend, you're welcome to attend. I will share the details on our Ramayana WhatsApp group. You're welcome to attend. If you can't attend, I understand. You will not be hurting my feelings. Whenever the recording is available, I will share with you. Again, if you like to hear, great. If you don't hear, I'm not forcing, or please don't think what will Prabhu think. I'm happy that I got a chance to meditate on and share the Ramayana with a few of you who are interested, and I'm very, very grateful. So my point is no force from my side in any way, or don't feel obliged. Do it if your interest is in hearing about the Supreme Lord Sri Ramachandra.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Sorry, this is Shivram.
Yes.
I've been in and out, so I'm sure I didn't hear this properly. But you mentioned something about before you start hearing about, start going to the Holy Dham, hearing about it and meditating on it in the mind, something to that effect. Pardon me, I'm sure I'm not getting it right, but I just wanted to see if you could repeat that point. I want to take that in.
The point was, before embarking on any mission, any big task, taking on anything new, or accomplishing something, it is customary to visit physically or mentally the holy places, the holy mountains, rivers, sages, remember them, meditate on them, and become purified.
Fantastic.
Therefore, Sugriva narrated the entire geography with reference to the great places, the great mountains, great sages, etc. That was
great. Thank you so much for clarifying. Thank you so much.
And I see somebody from California here. So it's early in the morning. On that day will be a lot earlier. But I'm grateful that you joined. I will send the link for the Rama Vijaya Utsava talk. And of course, when I get the recording, I'll share with you. Okay, any final thoughts before we say Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki jai? Okay. Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.